Welcome everyone, this is Scramble from Emotional Crypto Trading. Today we would like to cover Ethereum and speak about the most important things, such as the technical analysis and the probabilities of the future movements, as well as the news of the space. We would like to cover the ones which are actually saying something useful for us, as well as determining a brighter future. Before we dive into that, let's talk about a BTC dominance, which speaks again. It's 56%, and we have just touched that. The reason for that is pretty simple. It seems like, compared to the BTC, the altcoin market is in a sleeping mode. Now, that tells me one thing. This thing is just going to change sooner or later, and that's what we're waiting. We're waiting again for the altcoin market to dominate the BTC market, and those are going to be the times the 24-hour volume is going to cross 80 billion for the last 24 hours, and we're just going to skyrocket above 220 billion total market cap pretty easily. We just need a single day where the BTC dominance is decreasing 3% on a minimum, 80 billion 24 hours volume, and then the market cap is just going to fly above 220 billion, while the altcoins are going to have an average of increase in the price above 10% from a day to the other. Then, in connection with this day, there's going to be another one with 3-4-5% increase, which is going to determine a stability, right? Because the pullbacks do not need to be aggressive, and we do not want pullbacks higher than 60% from the tops, not even for the altcoin market. So for now, it's like in a sleeping mode, the altcoins, compared to the BTC, which is surviving better to the entire cycle. And what I mean by this cycle, well, the simple thing of the market having an increase, a rally, then facing a pullback. You know, we would call this a single cycle, a little cycle of the trading activity, right? We're not talking about those large market cycles right now. So BTC is doing better when it comes to this deal. And it seems like the altcoin market is not that great. It has larger pullbacks and sometimes less increases in the prices, which are used to be called less often. While BTC does it better. It's balanced and it has the ability to increase constantly. Just look at this graph for the last 7 days. Look at where it starts and look at where it ends. Simply, slowly but steadily picking up nicely and getting very close to $6,000 price. Right now it's just after the pullback, but we were above $6,000 and we spoke about that in my other video. Good. Now let's dive into the technical analysis. We're going to speak 5-minute candlesticks, 4-hour, and 1-day candlestick, all on Ethereum paired up with a US dollar fiat, and we're going to talk about with the Coinbase exchange, right? So those are the prices we're considering at that time. The pricing for the Ethereum right now in this moment is just right here, $172. And I'm going to start from top. We're going to go down till the bottom with the explanations. Right here at the top, we have faced heavy resistance after an increase which represented quite a lot. Take a look at that. It was 16 hours, and during this time, we had 13.8% increase within the price of Ethereum. Something that BTC didn't made it up. Something that majority of the other altcoins did not succeed creating such an increase of the price. And there was a specific reason for this that pumped the market just like that by having a lot of the selling order books, a lot of the traders from the selling order book wiping their ass away out of there. Therefore, bulls had the ability to go through the prices quite easily during this period. And of course, there is not really clear what is the reason behind those selling order books disappearing just like that, but we can see those kind of things pretty often in the market, and that's why a lot of the people think this is heavily manipulated, because a lot of these order books are disappearing at some point in a very aggressive way. So, however, I'm just going to let that on side. It's a different discussion. But what it means here, it's 16 hours in 14%. Huge for the Ethereum compared to the environment of the entire market on this short term. From there, we have established clear resistance line at the top. Take a look at that. So many confirmations, which are doing beautiful. At some point, we're breaking out of those very clearly. And the reason for that is simple. It was a downtrending channel that also had strong support. So we broke out of those and we tried to establish something. Nothing special here. We have a failed long breakout as well as short is starting to dominate. It dominates till this point where we are touching the line once again from the top right now. So from above position, and it supports us, seems like. But what happens is from there, we're going to try to break out from the previous top, which is located around 178. Now, unfortunately, we're not able, and we're establishing double top position here, clearly. So 178, double top, and heavy resistance applied from there with the short breakdown, which is happening at 175, where we failed to get supported. Then we fall down within this triangle, out of which then we get supported right here. And of course, we have the short failure happening. It's not rejecting us. It's going towards very nicely. Breaks out, finds support right now, and we're going to see what's going to happen next. However, in a nutshell, 170 is a line which supports us. This blue one right here, 170 bucks right now for the short-term traders. You guys can think about this. It does support us. And then we have this trending line, which is weak. Attention. As of right now, it's pretty weak. Don't really put your basis on this. You better want to talk about 170, which is more strong as an horizontal structure, which has a few confirmations as well. However, there is a point where these two lines are meeting, and it's just here, right? The blue line as well as the uptrending channel support line that we used to call weak as of right now. So this point right here, it's the place where these two guys are meeting up, and it creates double energy. Good. Going towards to the 4-hour candlestick in order to complete the puzzle. Right here on the left side, we have the all-time high position of 2019. We have very close to that the 180 bucks resistance, and in the bottom we have this green line, which is the uptrending channel support line. And other thing that appears on this chart is the Fibonacci retracement tool with the specific lines that are pretty general as a setup right here on the left side. Good. So let's take a look from the top till the bottom. Or it's better to start from the bottom. We've got some great movements around 0.382, which represents activity as resistance at the time we're below, but awesome breakout right here. Awesome breakout right there that can be used to buy for a long. That's where we have the long breakout, and the reaction is also happening quite a few weeks later. Yeah, this is 2nd of April. This is 25th of April. That's 23 days, about 3 weeks and 2 days, right? So it does confirm 0.382 represents strong support. It's located at $145, quite away from the current price of 172, but still good to consider for upcoming probabilities. Other thing, the 0.5 level has some activity as well, especially here. Strong support, because this is where we have stopped finding a bearish dominance, and we have started to increase the market from there till the point we are right now, about 13% in 11 days and 8 hours. Other details are around 0.61 0.18, which has activity at this level right here, and very, very recent. So we just got supported, let me tell you, 1 day and 12 hours ago at $160 area with Fibonacci at 0.618, strong support. That's from where the market exploded. We broke out of the 0.786 blue line, which represented resistance here. You can see that previously, right? You can see that how it acts as a support. Later on, it acts as a support over here as well, very nicely. But what happens is currently it did supported us amazingly, I would say. Very awesome. 0.786 right there, awesome activity. On top of that, we have the level number 1, the top of the Fibonacci tool, which does represent resistance to us, and we have to be aware about it. Right, so this tool right here is going to help us in order to determine upcoming movements, as well as the ones which are located at this prices, at this ranges. You definitely need to consider them depending where the market is traded, above or below. That's how support or resistance is going to be applied on the line. Good. Other things are to the 1-day candlestick, which speaks about long term. And I did wanted to share with you that we're still within the great looking channel. And there is one deal here which represents a interesting discussion. What if we take off? But what does it mean to take off? Well, for Ethereum, it means about 18% to take off. We're actually to touch the line that would put us into the takeoff zone, which is this one. That is the takeoff zone. That is where we could gain a lot of the volume, a lot of the volatility, and we could take advantage of those movements very nicely. But we have to break out of the blue line, which is sitting at 204, 200, 205, 195. Around that range, especially it's considered a area which is quite large. Around the 200s, it's going to activate. So we don't break out of that, then get supported by it. It's going to be difficult to us to survive in this channel, because at some point we're going to get to the limits, right, which are this one here. We're going to get to the limits, and then if we're not going to break out, we are going to fall back, which is going to be a problem. A lot of the people is going to get desperated. So let's see what's going to happen with the market and how this thing is going to be handled by the traders and by the people, and of course by the entire industry. Great, but these are the things we definitely have to make sure. Good. Now, that's all about the technical side. We're going to dive into this part, which is more about the news, and there are some great ones out there. Fidelity will start institutional Bitcoin trading within weeks, which is representing an awesome title, an awesome article, and of course, why not, beautiful news out there. Talking about large institution investments, which of course is part of the adoption, of the normal adoption everyone is looking after, but it's also part of a movement which could be established based on FOMO. Right? So make sure that right now we don't know how the entire media and industry is going to react. For the times they will announce publicly they have entered into the Bitcoin market as officially, right? So we don't have this information right now, how the entire market is going to react. And that's why I say it could be something that triggers the FOMO, and the market could spike 20, 30, 40%. Talking about the alts as well as BTC, why not 20%? It can go. This is a possibility. For the time Fidelity is going to make the clear announcement with the specific date and hour, they will start doing this. Could be, like I said, the start of the movement that represents the FOMO, and it's going to spike aggressively. So let's keep this thing in mind. Other details as Fidelity is about to start trading with Bitcoin. Everyone is trying to cover this type of news because they're bringing traffic to their websites. Bitcoin heads to $6,000. Ethereum jumps 11%. Bull imminent. It's quite hard to say that there is no other possibilities other than just bull. There are the other possibilities as well available on the market, and we clearly spoke about those on the technical side. So this is one type of title that you might take just half of it as factual data, that Bitcoin has to 6,000, it's very close to it, and then Ethereum jumps 11%. These are factual, clear facts of the market that we can see as statistics, but the last part of the title is not accurate at all. And then we have the Microsoft releases Ethereum app development kit for Azure Cloud. This is awesome news as well when we see this kind of brands and names connected to the Ethereum app. We all know that there is a tech giant right there behind Ethereum, and not only Microsoft, there are multiple tech giants right there supporting the Ethereum and participating into a sort of a way, how should I call this? It's more likely a group development activity that includes multiple tech giants. They do participate as a group development with and to Ethereum right now. They do support it like this. Brave browser gaining impressive traction on Android on par with Chrome. You can take a look at the Brave. You can try this thing out. They're gaining huge popularity these days. Huge ones. I've been using it. I'm quite happy. You guys can give it a try. Good. So that's all about this video. Feel free to subscribe my YouTube channel if you enjoy this one. Then click the bell button next to it. Hit the like button. Let me know what you think about the things which are going on within the market. It's quite serious to see what's going to happen in the next days and so on. However, like I said, we're waiting for the sleeping giant to take off. And I'm talking about the alts. We do want to see them take off. Good. Feel free to check the first link in the description area, which speaks about my one-on-one coaching program for those of you which are looking to become professional traders and make money out of this long term. That's the place to become one of those. And that's kind of all about. See you in my other videos.